What about the Clippers? Let's jump to the West. I feel like we've
I'm
been
gonna
talking
triple
about.
down on that. I'm gonna just get straight to it because I get a little long-winded. I'm still where I'm at. I'm not caving on the Clippers. They're still relatively high. But no.
Damn,
Again, no.
damn,
I'm
Jay,
gonna leave it.
Jay, Jay,
I'm
Jay,
gonna let you
Jay,
argue, and then I'll shoot holes through what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Jay.
Go.
It's hard to shoot holes through an argument that is based on a player who's having a 50, 40, 90 season.
Okay.
For those of you out there that don't keep up with hoops like how we do and don't know what a 50, 40, 90 season is you shooting 50% or better from the field, 40% or better from the three-point line, or 90% or better from the free throw line. Kawhi Leonard, 24 points per game on 52% from the field, 45% from the three-point line, 89% from the free throw line. I'll give him the cushion, the benefit of the doubt. He'll get that up to 90 by the time the season ends. So they have their star. Okay. Do you know who they have right next to the star who's putting up a 50, 40, 90 season? A player who's averaging just 2 points less than that at Paul George, 22 points per game on 45% from the field, 40% from the three-point line. Check. They got 2 stars. They got 2 playmakers. They got 2 stars. They got a playmaker in James Harden who I love when James Harden accepts his role because he's so damn good at being a point guard that it's crazy to me that like he wants to be the system so bad that it's like, yo, if you just hone in on your point guard skills, you can be such an amazing point guard. Like I still believe to this day, even better than Tyrese Maxey. Maybe I'm gonna sound crazy by saying this. James Harden was the best pick and roll partner Joel Embiid ever had up until this point in his career. This is only 1 year of seeing Tyrese Maxey and him playing together. But right now, Harden's putting up eight assists per game. And the beautiful playmaking part about James Harden is that you can't just, like how when Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid ran a pick and roll, we're just gonna double Joel Embiid and force Ben, threaten. Is Ben Simmons a threat offensively? Guess what? You cannot do that with James Harden because that man is a threat. Just last year, man put 45 points up on the Celtics. Okay, so they got a playmaker. Shooters. They are a top 4 team in the league in both field goal percentage and 3-point percentage, shooting 39% from the field, shooting 49% from the field and 39% from the 3-point line. Earlier, I talked about it with 2 different teams already. I talked about the Cavs and the Knicks having the right type of shooters around your driving kick players. Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, great catch and shoot players to put around driving kick players like Russ, Hard, PG. So check, they got that. Defense. Here is where I have some concerns. Okay, now here's where my list takes a halt. It stops, Jay, because check this out, Jay. They got 2 great. I mean, there was one point in this league where there was no question, a shadow of a doubt, that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were the best 2-way players in this league. You can still make that argument now. The league has gotten better, but you can still make the argument now. But where I have my fears and where I have my qualms about this team is that front court. Okay, that front court of Daniel Tice, Mason Plumlee, and Zubac. I don't know if I can trust that come playoff time. I don't know if I'm ready to put my money up on the line against other front courts in this league, especially when contending front courts. Every other team that I've said so far that I've deemed a contender has an elite front court. This team doesn't. Now they have a extremely elite backcourt, and let's see if that can make up for their weaknesses of the front court. But that's where my list comes to a halting stop. And I say, Jay, the Clippers are pretenders. But they're almost there, though. They're almost there. At least I gave them more of a thought. You said all that
to say that they're pretenders.
I give them more of a thought. I give them more of a thought than you did. I give them more of a thought than you did.
Yeah. So I'm with you. Like that lineup, I'm looking at it online right now, and that Kawhi, PG, Norm Powell, Zubac lineup with Harden is killing the league right now with their plus minus. But that 5 again with Zubac and Powell on the court, I hate to. I want to try to go to somebody other than Denver. First off, any key injury on Denver. And then I think that tips the scales. So again, we're talking Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, maybe even a KCP. Any one of them go down, and I kind of have to reevaluate whether I think Jokic is still single-handedly overpowering enough with the Clippers firing on all cylinders. But firing on all cylinders for the Clippers is my fundamental issue with them, right? It's Kawhi Leonard not getting hurt. It's James Harden not clamming up. and I'm just I can't ride with that. I'd be more inclined maybe even to go with Phoenix, and I don't even like Phoenix at all.
That's
I don't want to
crazy.
bet on no Brad Beal, but the funny thing is even if Kawhi, if KD and Booker cancel out Kawhi and Paul George, I
Not
think
deep
I'd
enough.
still take Beal over Harden. You're right. Depth is an issue for Phoenix for sure. But man, he's trying to challenge me. James Harden is trying to say, "Are you sure you want to bet against me?" But this is a lifetime achievement reward for James Harden. I just can't roll with it. So
I mean, I feel it. I feel it. I mean, brother, I'll be honest. Like, you have all the reason in the world to not roll with it. I'm just hoping that the
oh,
the playoff failures, the him arguing with Daryl Morey and his
yeah.
career. I said this before he came to the Clippers, and now I don't believe this because he's got his play better a lot. But if this Clipper situation didn't work out, like, I don't know what team really would have took James Harden, because
There
I know
wasn't going to be one, and that's what's going to make his contract situation so crazy. Like that's a whole 5-minute, 10-minute segment right there on the spot, because there's so many little machinations of which way it could go with James Harden, and all of it's going to really be predicated on how does the season end. But one last little nugget, just because I want to shoot it off, is that they might have extreme matchup issues with the Minnesota Timberwolves, because if the Timberwolves completely shut down the paint, and Jared Vanderbilt, not Vanderbilt, Jaden McDaniels, can mitigate one of them, PG-13 or Kawhi, then all of a sudden Minnesota might be in the driver's seat. So that's another reason why I can't.
It's a tough task to ask, though.
Yeah,
Mitigating those two players is tough.
Yeah, so
All right, Jay. I like that. Giving Minnesota some love, man. I know one of our recent videos here.
I know, yeah, I was dogging them out. But matchups though, and yeah, matchups, I like them against the Clippers.